So Palmer trying to win this at bat here. 2-2 is the count. Pitch coming. This one lifted. High fly ball, but it should be a routine fly ball out to left, and it is. And that will be the final out of the inning. ICC gets 2 runs on 2 hits. Nobody left on base. We'll step away and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com. And welcome back now as we head to the bottom of the second inning. ICC with a 2-0 lead after a 2-run home run by Russell Bunch. So, having to update Twitter here as Houston Harding getting set to go. Big healthy swing that time by Sharber, the third baseman, comes up empty. So this pitch coming, fouls off. 0-2 now is the count. The Indians, a long ball has been their friend this afternoon. Sharber takes a look at that pitch and is called a ball. 1-2 now is the count. Harding taking his time now with a 1-2 count, no outs. That pitch just missing high for a ball. 2-2 now is the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Breaking pitch hangs up that time, just a little too high out of the zone. 3-2 now goes the count. Hard hit ground ball. Second baseman finds it, throws it across the way for the putout of Sharber. 4-3 for those of you scoring at home. Now up to be the shortstop, Barry, for the Chargers. A scoreboard update for you. Softball, they're up 3-2 after 3 complete.
Now batting number 4, the shortstop, Doran Berry.
That's 3-2 ICC softball over Snead State in game 2 after 3 complete. And now will be the shortstop, Barry, for the Chargers. Barry takes a look at that one. Breaking pitch, just missing a little low for a ball. 1-0 is the count here. 1 out, nobody on for the Chargers. Howard hit ground ball. Shortstop's going to have to come up and make a quick play here. Throw the stretch in time. Great play over there. Lewis had to hurry with the speedy Barry going down the lines. A great stretch over there at first by Palmer to be able to dig that one out and get the putout. So now up will be the catcher, Locum, the number 7 batter. As he stands in, takes that first pitch for a strike. Boy, I tell you what, it didn't take very long for the sun to dip down here in the hills of Tennessee. As we were worried about right fielders having to fight with the sun, they really only had to deal with it for an inning. And Drake Wallace was able to get two of those fly balls out there in right field. So 0-2 is the count now. Harding getting set to deliver. Pitch is on its way. This one lifted to center field, and that's going to drop for a base hit. Nice piece of hitting there on an 0-2 count by Locum, the catcher. He'll get the first hit of the day for the Chargers, and now it will be Pugh, the center fielder.
Now batting number 3, the center fielder, Adaris Pugh.
So Pugh will be the 8th batter in the lineup. He's coming to the bat for his first time. Swings on a little off-speed high pitch that time. Came up empty. Way ahead of that one was Pugh. Runner on first. There's 2 outs. 0-1 is the count. Breaking pitch just a little too high. Harding keeps going for the curveball. Just can't quite find the zone on it. 1-1 is the count. 2 outs and a runner on first here for the Chargers. That pitch finds it across there. Clips the corner of the plate for a strike, and 1-2 now goes the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on first here for the Chargers. Runner goes, swung on and missed, and there's a Renaissance Bank strikeout for Harding. A big strikeout there to end the inning and get the Indians out of a small jam. That is a Renaissance Bank strikeout, the first of the day for Harding. As we'll take a break. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We've played 2. ICC 2, Chargers 0. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this. And welcome back as we get set here. We do have a choice pawn pitching change as Cameron Williams will come in here for the Chargers.
Number 13, the shortstop, Connor Lewis.
It'll be Connor Lewis, Jackson Lancaster, and Kason Millerin due up here for the Indians in the top of the third. ICC leading 2-0 after a 2-run home run by Russell Bunch in the top of the second. It's the 4th home run of the day for ICC. And a healthy swing that time by Lewis, the shortstop. So swing and a miss there by Lewis. 0-1 is the count. Lewis takes that pitch, a beauty across for a strike. As Williams, he's got a little pop. And And his pitches here. And there's a shot lifted. Left fielder's going to chase over and it's going to get out of play. Good chase put on that time by the left fielder. Stone could not quite get to it in time as it got out of play. And the count now goes 0-2 here on Connor Lewis. Well, the lights are on here at Dave Hall Field. As waiting the pitch. Check swing, and he went, and that's going to be a Renaissance Bank strikeout of Lewis. Lewis just could not quite hold up that time. Tell you what,
Number 10, the center fielder, Jackson Lancaster.
Woody, did these home plate umpires at our last game against Calhoun, a kid turned his back completely to the pitcher and was not called on a check swing strike. They said it was a ball, even though he completed his body, almost corkscrewed himself into the ground. So that first pitch across for a strike to Jackson Lancaster. Lancaster pops this one up, and it's going to get out of play, and quickly ahead in the count is Williams, 0-2. Well, I'll tell you what, Cameron Williams has come in and has quickly got some work done here. So 0-2 is the count with one out now to Jackson Lancaster. Pitch missing low for a ball. 1-2. Not a bad spot to miss. Been working high a couple of times with some heat. See if you couldn't get him to chase one. Or if he did get it, try to jam him up a little bit. So 1-2 now is the count with one out here to Jackson Lancaster. We're in the top of the third. ICC leading 2-0. That pitch up high for a ball. 2-2 now is the count. Now this is a Chamber of Commerce-like evening here at the ballpark. A beautiful breeze as that pitch inside for a ball. A nice night here. You may have a hard time chasing me out of Tennessee tonight, as it has just been a beautiful evening for baseball. 3-2 now is the count with one out. This pitch popped up. Foul territory, and it's going to get out of play. So 3-2 will stay the count now. As neither one could really get out there to it. So 3-2 will stay the count here on Lancaster. Lancaster was robbed of a base hit his first at bat. There's a shot out to right. So Lancaster will get his first hit of the game and a clutch hit there on a 3-2 pitch. Nicely done by Lancaster, and now up will be Millerin.
Now batting number 5, the second baseman, Kason Millerin.
Millerin struck out swinging, one of 2 strikeout victims this evening here in Game 2 by the Indians. So there's a runner at first here for the Indians. One out, snap throw over, not in time. Well, I'll tell you what, you have to be on your toes when you play Columbia State. They do like to keep the runners close to the bags. Snap throw over once again. And so we'll stay at 0-0 as no delivery has been delivered to the plate here for Millerin. Millerin, the second baseman. And time is taken as the catcher wants to come out and talk to his pitcher here. Do remind you that you can order tickets to this year's ICC Bluegrass and Gospel Concert on March the 3rd at the Davis Event Center. Tickets available at iccms.edu/concert. That's iccms.edu/concert. Or you can get them by calling 862-8039. That's 862-8039. And a big healthy swing that time by Millerin. Couldn't find anything with it, and it's a strike. 0-1 now is the count. That's the ICC Bluegrass and Gospel Concert, Saturday, March 3rd, right there in Fulton. Of course, that concert, one of the benefits the ICC Foundation. That pitch up high. 1-1 now is the count here to Milren. Thomas is on deck. He's catching here in game two. The lights are on here at Dave Hall Field. Indians leading 2-0. As going to, and the flag is finally taking a break. The poor flag has been waving all day today. It's just give out. That pitch in the dirt blocked up beautifully that time by Locum. I'm going to have to borrow that sometime. Anytime the flag is laying limp, the wind is blowing straight down in the ballpark. I like that. So 2-1 now is the count here. Milren and a battle. Takes that pitch high. 3-1 now is the count. Locum wants to come out and talk to Williams here. I don't know if they're either trying to throw it a little too hard or maybe there's a little miscommunication in what he's been looking to throw. So 3-1 now is the count. Milren at the plate trying to find a way to win this battle. A runner on first for the Indians with one out here in the top of the third. Game two between ICC and Columbia State. And there's a fastball across for a strike. Well, whatever Locum said that time, he needs to figure out what he did and how to bottle it, as that one was right down the middle for a strike to even up the count at 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, and a runner on first here for the Indians. Runner goes, swing and a miss. The throw down is in time. Strike him out, throw him out to end the inning. And the Chargers get a little shot in the arm as they head to the bottom of the third inning. As we'll take a break. The ICC, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. We'll move to the bottom of the third. ICC leading it 3-0, or 2-0 here in game two. As that first pitch across from the strike, got somebody telling me right now there's been a good many of alumni come out of this school here. Went on to Georgia Tech and was playing for the Patriots. Is what you're saying? Playing. Okay. So 1-1 is the count here as we're starting the bottom of the third inning. A little grounder back to Harding. Harding will check out the baseball and throws it over to first for the putout. So Stone is retired 1-3 to start the bottom of the third. So he kind of got jammed up that time.
Now batting number 10, the right fielder, Devin Simlar.
So we go back to the top of the lineup here with Simlar, the right fielder. He flew out to right in his first at bat. And takes a look at a little off-speed pitch across for a strike. Was not anticipating that pitch coming. Kind of jammed him up that time, or froze him up, I should say. And there's a carbon copy of that one, just a little bit more oomph behind it. And it finds the corner of the plate for a strike. So a breaking pitch, fouled off. Good job that time, finding a piece of that one. Similar for the strike. So 0-2 is the count here. Simlar waiting the pitch here from Harding. Harding looking for his Renaissance Bank strikeout. The offering coming. And it's fouled back and will stay at 0-2. And we've seen that a lot out of Columbia State today. They get behind in the count. They come back and battle. And for the most part have won those battles this afternoon. So Harding with an 0-2 count with one out. And fouls it back, but held on by the catcher for a Renaissance Bank strikeout. So good job that time by Thomas to hold on to that one and allow Harding to retire the second out of the inning for his second Renaissance Bank strikeout. Squared the bunt and came up empty on it. Boy, I did not keep an eye on softball. I'll give you a scoreboard update on that one here in a second. This pitch fouled off, strike two. Well, I haven't been keeping an eye on it, and I might need to do that more often. ICC has raced out to a 7-3 lead as they head to the bottom of the fifth in Game 2 against Snead State. So Coach Andy Kirk might say, Gore, don't pay attention to us when you're on the road. That pitch, not a bad spot to miss with a pitch to see if you couldn't get him to chase one high. Could not do so. So 1-2 now is the count here for Harding. Pitch coming. That one fouled off and will stay at 1-2. That one fouled off hard as it rolled back into play. There's two outs. Stone started the inning off with a ground ball back to the pitcher and then a strikeout to Simlar. And this is Dutton. Dutton at the plate trying to keep this inning alive here. 1-2 is the pitch. Swung on in the dirt. Catcher's going to come out and can't find it. And not going to be in time. So the catcher couldn't find it out of his mitt that time, so the runner will get down to first after the ball got away from the catcher.
Now batting, number 8,
Yep.
designated hitter, John.
So strikeout E2 allows the runner to reach. And now O'Dyer, who reached on that fielder's choice, had a couple of people text me and confirm that it was a fielder's choice on that play where the batter interference came into play. Swings on the first pitch he sees, foul ball. Coach Korn, though, couldn't find the handle on it. I think he was switching his papers from his right hand to his left hand and thought second about reaching out and grabbing that one. So first pitch going for a strike on the foul ball. There is a runner on first with two outs. Bottom of the third, ICC leading 2-0. Runner goes. Throw is way high. Really nobody covering second either. So a stolen base there for Dutton. So 1-1 now is the count. Don't know if the he reached on a fielder's choice. Yeah, he was in that awkward situation where. So 1-1 now is the count with a runner on second. Runner goes, swing and a miss, and he will get the free pass. So back-to-back stolen bases now. As Dutton all the way over to third. Looked like a little hit and run action there. Just couldn't come up with a hit. And so now 1-2 is the count with two outs. Ground ball up the middle. Second baseman's going to have to hurry. Throw over in time. And a nice play that time to end the inning by Milren. And ICC gets out of the jam. Score that one 4-3 on the putout. No runs, no hits, one error, and one left on base. We've played three. ICC leads it 2-0. We're going to step away and be back with the top of the fourth right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com. And welcome back as we have another Choice Pond pitching change here as this will be number 13, Kyle Chandler coming in to pitch here for Columbia State. That is the third pitcher of the game for the Chargers. Softball is taking an 8-3 lead now in the bottom of the fifth after Olivia Burns scores on a sacrifice fly by Rachel Sternisha.
Leading off for the Indians, number 6, the catcher, Drew Thomas.
And Drew Thomas will be up here. And so this is going to be Drew Thomas, LeBryant Siddell, and Hall all due up here for the Indians in the top of the fourth. Takes a look at that first pitch, low and inside for a ball. The sun has dipped away here. And there's a hard hit, fly ball out to center field. Center fielder, though, is going to jog up and make the play for the putout. Well, it was hit on a rope that time by Thomas, but about 6 steps up. And that'll be a putout of Thomas by the center fielder. The Indians have hit the ball well today, and they've hit the ball hard.
Now batting number 18, the left fielder, LeBryant Siddell.
Now up will be LeBryant Siddell. He walked, but was thrown out on a great play by the left fielder as he was trying to go from first to third on a play. But a great job there. So LeBryant Siddell will take that first pitch high for a ball. We do want to thank everyone watching here on Let'sGoICCTV.com, the Blue Channel. As Siddell jammed on this one, popped up, and the second baseman makes the nice sliding catch to get the second out of the inning. That was just almost in no man land that time as it come off the fist of Siddell. Second baseman showing off some nice wheels and concentration to get the put out. It'll be Jacob Hall coming to the plate now. He singled, scored a run off a 2-run home run by Russell Bunch, and that's been the difference in the game so far. A beautiful pitch across for a strike. As Hall, the DH here, 1 for 1 with a single. And took a healthy chop at that one. Couldn't catch up with the fastball. 0-2 now is the count. And so Hall will have to protect the plate here with a 0-2 count. Pops this one up, back and out of play. We'll stay at 0-2. Well, here at Dave Hall Field, it's always 7:42, according to the clock on the scoreboard. And it's not too far away from being right by the time we get out of here. Yes. A Back to the Future reference there. So 1-2 is the count with 2 outs. And that pitch high, he was able to hang off of it that time, and now evens the count at 2-2. And so now Hall will have to protect the plate here. Fell behind the count 0-2. Now evens it up at 2-2. That pitch missing outside. Couldn't get him to go fishing in the dark that time. And now the count goes full here. So 3-2 is the count with 2 outs. Ground ball, then it's a foul ball, and we'll stay at 3-2. So a nice at bat here by Hall, trying to keep the inning alive here for the Indians. 2-0 is your score. Bunch is on deck for the Indians. He had that 2-run shot back in the second. So Hall awaiting the 3-2 pitch. And can't get it. A strike 3 call that time, and Hall was headed down to first. Will have to come back and retrieve his bat and head to the dugout. A Renaissance Bank strikeout to end the inning there. 3 up, 3 down, go the Indians. We'll step away and come back with the bottom of the 4th inning. 2-0 ICC with the lead. And welcome back as we get set now for the bottom of the 4th inning. Houston Harding still on the hill here for the Indians. It'll be the 4, 5, 6 batters due up here. Wilson to start things off. He flew out to right to end the first in his previous at bat. So that pitch missing low and outside for a ball. We do appreciate everyone watching here on the Blue Channel. As we said, found out about this game last night about 7 o'clock. So that pitch missing for a ball. Knew that a lot of our ICC family wouldn't be able to make the road trip up here, and we wanted to go the extra mile for you to be able to let you guys be able to watch these games today. As that pitch fouled off. It's been a great day for baseball. I've bragged on them before, and I'll brag on them again the rest of the day. Great hospitality all afternoon by everyone here at Columbia State, and I'm going to lobby pretty hard for Coach Collier to make sure we get these guys on our schedule more often. As that pitch up and in nearly hits the batter. And, a big, healthy swing. Apparently the red light was not on there on that 3-1 pitch. So now the count goes full at 3-2. So Harding offers this one, and it's fouled back. And we'll stay at 3-2. Harding 1-0 on the year. Trying to pick up his second win of his season. He's going to step off the mound. And we'll re-go through his motions. 3-2 is the count to the leadoff batter here in the bottom of the 4th inning for the Chargers. Swung on and missed for another Renaissance Bank strikeout for Houston Harding. Good job by Harding finding a way to win that battle there. Another Renaissance Bank strikeout for Harding.
Number 27, the third baseman, Zach.
So Wilson will head back. That's the third Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day for Harding. Technically fourth after he did E2 allowed the player to reach. I was not looking at that one, so. And there's a shot, a lip over the third baseman's head, and it's going to hit the line, so it's going to be a fair ball. And it's going to try to get it up to second. Good job backing up the play that time, and that's going to be a double for Sharber. So Sharber just got a little blooper over the head of the third baseman that hit the line out at left field and did not check up. So he was able to get a one-out double now, and up will be Barry, who grounded out to the shortstop at his previous at-bat. So Barry will dig in 0 for 1 here in game 2. One out and a runner on second. Waiting the pitch, going to show bunt, pulls back on it and takes it for a strike. Well, trying to see if you can see what the Indians would show defensively. ICC pretty much normal depth in this situation. So 2-0 is your score. Chargers trying to spark a rally here. One out and a runner on second. Runner goes, throw down. And the throw is more towards the dugout than the third baseman, and that's going to be another stolen base. 4 stolen bases for the Chargers here in game 2. So what a clutch situation here. 1-1 is the count on Barry, a runner at third with one out. So Barry awaiting the 1-1 pitch. Ground ball, and that's going to get through, so that'll score a run. Nice at bat by Barry that time. And back-to-back hit now for the Chargers. And that makes it a 2-1 score now. Nice piece of base running by Sharber. And now Locum, the catcher who singled but was left stranded back in the second, will come to the plate. We'll see what the Chargers like to do. They've been very aggressive on the base pass. Barry has flashed some speed already in the game. Snap throw over to first. Not in time as Barry was quickly getting back. And another throw over to first, maybe trying to buy a little bit of time right now to allow. Is that Sam Harrington getting loose in the bullpen for the Indians? So both tosses over to first. Barry taking a daring lead. Now Harding is going to deliver. Breaking pitch, and it's a beauty for a strike. So 0-1 is the count here. Say really. So we're going to redo it here. I was thinking the same thing. You heard the Columbia State broadcast guy in the background. He said everything got quiet. I was thinking it's kind of eerie how quiet it got. Runner goes. The throw is not in time. And Barry showing off that speed. The pitch looked a little low. That is going to be the 5th stolen base of the game here for the Chargers. So now the tying run is at second. That pitch missing for a ball. Ball gets away, and the runner will just trot down to third. Just could not find the ball. So he'll advance on a pass ball. Smart play by Barry. Notice that the catcher did not find the baseball after it got away from him, and he just jogged down to third. So now the tying run at third, and this one fouled over towards the ICC dugout. Boy, I tell you what, if that got in the dugout, I don't know how it missed an Indian over there, but luckily no damage done. So 2-2 now is the count. Harding, boy, it'd be a big time for a Renaissance Bank strikeout for Harding if he can find strike 3 here with a 2-2 count. Indians in a jam. 2-2 pitch coming, swung on and miss. A big time Renaissance Bank strikeout there for Harding. 2 outs. Got him to chase one a little low in the zone that time.
Now batting number 3, the center fielder, Darius Hughes.
And now up Pugh, the center fielder. He struck out swinging his first at bat to end the second. First pitch missing for a ball. This pitch fouled back. Even the count now at 1-1. A pretty healthy chop taken that time on the part by Pugh. Softball, they're in the middle of the 6th inning. ICC leading 8-3 over Snead State. Breaking pitch, and that was a beauty. 1-2. So now 1-2 is the count. Harding trying to get out of the jam here for the Indians. Swung on and missed, and a big time back-to-back Renaissance Bank strikeouts by Harding. With the tying run at third, the Indians get out of the jam. 2-1. ICC leads it after 4.
At the end of the 4th inning for the Chargers.
And welcome back as we have another Renaissance Bank pitching change here. Number 26, Gideon McKee will check into the contest. This will be the 4th pitcher we've seen of the game. And for the Indians, it'll be the 6, 7, 8 batters due up. And it'll be Russell Bunch. Bunch hit a 2-run home run in his first at bat, and that has been the difference in this ball game so far. ICC 2 in the second, and the Chargers get 1 in the fourth. And so 2-1 is your score now as we move to the top of the fifth inning. Bunch, Wallace, and Palmer all due up here in the top of the fifth inning. Pitch missing for a ball. We talked about Russell Bunch had that 2-run home run. He's playing third base. Bunch fouls that one off. Evens of the count now at 1-1. So Bunch will start us off here. Wallace is on deck. 1-1 pitch coming. Bunch looks at that one, across for a strike. He changed up his delivery that time and his release point, and Bunch watched that one go. 1-2 now is the count to Bunch. And Bunch is going to go down swinging on strikes. And that was just nasty, as McKee just came in quickly with that little slide arm delivery. And now up is going to be Wallace. So 1 out now in the inning for Wallace. And Wallace takes that pitch inside for a ball. And that one across, just missing outside. And so it's going to be 2-0 is the count here on Wallace. But like McKee, he doesn't waste any time getting the ball back from the catcher as this pitch fouled back and out of play for a strike. 2-1 now is the count. 2-1 is your score. ICC with the lead. Wallace at the plate. And that sidearm delivery once again kind of fooling all these ICC batters, or the first two batters, I should say, that McKee has faced, as that one swung on and missed for strike 2. McKee set to deliver. A little slow roller back to the pitcher. Easy throw across the way. 1-3 on the putout of Wallace. So Wallace 0 for 2 on the day, and now up will be the first baseman, Palmer, for the Indians.
Number 32, the first baseman, Hayden Palmer.
He flew out to left to end the second in his first at bat. Palmer takes a look at that pitch, low for a ball. Yes, we'll be home on Friday against Lakeland, as this pitch fouled back and out of play. This shot is hit deep. Center fielder going back to the wall and off the wall for the catch. The second great play by the center fielder. He made a diving catch to rob Lancaster of a hit. Then that one as he bounces off the wall to make the catch to end the inning. A great play out there in center field by Pugh here in Game 2. We'll head to the bottom of the fifth inning, 2-1, ICC with the lead. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this. And welcome back, as we do have a choice pawn change here. as Hunter Neighbors will come in to catch here for the Indians. Houston Harding staying on the hill here for the Indians. As it'll be Stone at the plate. Shows bunt, pulls back, takes it for a ball. Stone at his first at bat of the game. Grounded back to the pitcher. Stone. As time is taken here, as Harding wants to talk to Neighbors, who just entered to catch here for the Indians. They've played 6 in softball. ICC up 8-3 over Snead State. And a healthy swing and a miss that time by Stone. And 1-1 now is the count. 1-1 pitch coming. In the dirt, 2-1 now is the count. So Harding with a 2-1 count, no outs, as Stone is leading us off here in the bottom of the 5th. Pops the bunt up. Neighbors going to have to hurry and can't make the play. What an effort on the part of Neighbors. Just could not find it. The bunt was popped straight up in the air. Neighbors makes that diving effort, looks at the umpire, says, I was this close to making that play. So 2-2 now is the count. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, ground ball. And it's going to be a tough play here. Going to have to hurry and can't make the play. A base hit there for Stone, as that was just a slow roller, and Harding just could not get to it quick enough. Infield single there for Stone to start the inning. So now the tying run on base here for the Chargers. And then we go back to the top of the lineup here.
Now batting number 10, the right fielder, Kevin Simlar.
And Simlar will come in to bat. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. He flew out to right in his first at bat. So now the Indians in a little bit of trouble here. Tying run at first in Stone, who's got speed to burn. He just showed off those jets, legging out that infield single. As that pitch missing low for a ball. Remind you, our next broadcast will be Thursday night on the Red Channel. Basketball against Northwest, sophomore night. The sophomore presentation will be between games, so you'll want to be sure and stick around for that. If you can't make it out to Fulton, and if you're away from your computer, you can listen on FM 95 Sports. As the pitch missing low. That'll be at 5:40 Choice Pond pregame show, a 6 o'clock tip between the Lady Indians and the Lady Rangers. Indians scheduled to follow at 8. That'll be the regular season finale. ICC Lady Indians have punched their tickets to the playoff, we believe. 2-0 is the count. Runner goes. And we've got an interference, but that was thrown out. And so the batter is out on interference. The umpire called that immediately on the play. I thought they got him out at second on the throw, but they said he was safe. Coach Collier's going to come out and argue to the infield umpire. Coach Corn arguing to the home plate umpire. If there was a third umpire, I'd go down there and argue with him about anything. But there's not. There's only 2. Coach Collier going to come out and say a word to the infield umpire. The infield umpire shaking his head in agreement with Coach Collier. He walks away not knowing what to say. Very, very few times do the umpires agree with what a coach says. And so Coach Corn is getting his money's worth here with the home plate umpire. But I'll say this now, the home plate umpire right away called batter interference, did not hesitate on that. So batter interference on the call, so that technically will give, I believe, the put out to the catcher. So after all the dust settled on that one, the batter's out on batter interference. The base runner retreated back to first, and now there's one out for Dutton. Throw over to first, not in time. He struck out, but the ball got away from the catcher, and it was an E2 that he was able to reach on. He also walked, and he has stole 3 bases in his 2 trips to around the base. Runner goes, and just could not find the ball quick enough out of his glove, and so that's going to be a stolen base with no throw to Stone. So a stolen base. That's like the 800th stolen base of the game for the Chargers. Let me count that up real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Unless I'm missing one. It seems like a lot more than that. And they fake the throw back to second. So with one out and a runner on second, that's Stone at second. He's already stole 1 base. They've double stole as a throw to second gets away in and out of the glove of the shortstop, but a good job that time at second base, Million, to back that one up to keep the runner at second. So Harding paying a lot of attention to that's Stone at second. He's going to step off and look Stone back to the bag. Got a battle here in game 2. 2-1 is your score. 1 out. 1-0 is the count here to Dutton. So Harding looks the runner back. And now we'll step and look the runner back. So 1-0 is the count here. Got to figure Stone's going to be in motion. He's got the green light as the Chargers are very aggressive on the base paths. Time taken by the batter. You're starting to hear a lot of chatter coming out of the dugout of the Chargers. They trail this contest 2-1 here. We're in the bottom of the 5th. So Harding now is going to deliver the pitch across for a strike. Well, it's been a minute since Dutton saw a pitch. He may have fell asleep as he was missed on that, or didn't miss on it. He just didn't pull the trigger on that one. 1-1 now is the count. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, and a runner on second. That's a tying run. Is Stone. Fastball, bunt attempt. They're going to say he pulled back on it. And the infield umpire, they appealed to him, but he did say he did pull back on it. At a tough angle for him to be able to tell that. But 9 times out of 10, you're not going to see them overturn their partner on that type of call. 2-1 now is the count here to Dutton. Runner at second. That's Stone. Reached on an infield single, stole a base. And Stone goes. Runner goes. Throw down to third. Not in time. The throw was high and couldn't get the tag down. That is the second stolen base by Stone here in this trip around the bags. So now the tying run. The tying run is at third yet again. 3-1 is the count. Dutton at the plate. And there's a strike for strike 2. 3-2 now is the count. Can Harding find a way to get out of this inning again? Can Harding pull a Houdini act here again? Last time the runner was on third, he was able to get back-to-back Renaissance Bank strikeouts. 3-2 now is the count. Pitch coming, swung on and missed for strike 3. Big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout there for Harding. Out number 2. And now up will be O'Dwyer. He's 0 for 2 on the day. We've got that final score in softball. ICC sweeps Need State with an 8-3 Game 2 victory. So Stone is the tying run at third. That pitch across for a strike. And this is O'Dyer at the line, or excuse me, not at the line, I'm in basketball mode. At the plate. Harding's inside pitch, missing for a ball. 1-1 now is the count. Mr. Gregg doing the play-by-play for Columbia State said it right. Harding does a good job. He just seems to get stronger as innings go by. And there's a fastball, and boy, you just saw Harding kind of bark after he dribbled that fastball by. So 1-2 is the count. Tying run at third. Harding's pitch coming. Ground ball to second. Gets it, throws it over, and gets the put out. Houston Harding fired up. Getting in the jam, but getting out of it there. ICC leads it 2-1 now. We've played 5. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this.
Fifth inning for the Chargers. 0 runs, 1 hit.
And welcome back to action. We have another Choice Pond pitching change here. As this is going to be Baker, Dustin Baker coming in to pitch here. As Columbia State is pretty much just switching pitchers out each inning here. A stat keeper's nightmare. So this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th pitcher of the game here for Columbia State as Baker is taking his warm-up tosses. Really surprised they went away from McKee unless they've got a game coming up soon that they want to keep the pitch count down on guys or maybe just get some guys some live action as McKee looked sharp.
Leading off for the Indians, number 13, the shortstop, Connor Lewis.
So now it'll be Connor Lewis. It'll be the 9-1-2 batters due up here for the Indians in the top of the 6th inning. ICC trying to find some insurance runs here. So that's what it is. And so they're coming off a 4-game series over this last weekend. So got some guys on some pitch counts, want to save a few arms, not burn them out too early in the season here. So Connor Lewis will lead us off here in the top of the 6th. ICC leading 2-1. Lewis looks at that first pitch, high and outside for a ball. When we talk about those insurance runs that the Indians are looking for, we talk about your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox. For all your insurance needs, give Joey a call. Home, auto, or life, or stop by and see him there on South Adams Street. There's a rip. Diving effort by the shortstop, gets by, and a leadoff single there for Connor Lewis to start the inning here for the Indians. We go back to the top of the lineup now. This is scheduled up is Jackson Lancaster.
Now batting number 10, the center fielder, Jackson Lancaster.
Lancaster singled in his last at bat. Robbed of a base hit by an amazing diving catch out in center field. in the first at bat of the game. So Lancaster will come up. Runner goes, bunt is laid down, and that's a foul ball, so we'll do it all over again. Lewis got a pretty good jump there. Would have took an impressive throw to get Lewis out at second, but the foul ball will send him back to first. This game may come down to executing down the stretch. Who can play small ball? Who can get that hit and run? Something to push across a run here. 0-1 is the count here to Lancaster. Soft toss over to first. Not really with much effort as Lewis just kind of hops back on the bag. So Lewis takes a small lead over at first. Lancaster at the plate. Runner goes. Throw is low, and he's going to be there safely. Well, a good throw might have had a chance, but the throw was about 6 foot shy as it's hopped to the shortstop, so a stolen base for Lewis as 0-2 goes the count here. So 0-2 is the count to Lancaster with a runner on second. Lancaster looks at that pitch and nearly takes one for the team. I would say that one, he's probably going to look down at Coach Collier, and Coach Collier, yep, I said he was going to be nodding his head at him. You got to take those. But instead, kind of gets out of the way there. And so now the count goes 1-2. Lewis is at second. He singled and stole second. 1-2 is the count now to Lancaster. That pitch missing outside, evens the count now at 2-2. A nice breeze blowing through the ICC Foundation broadcast booth here. The wind still blowing straight down, as they say. The flag is limp in outfield. 2-2 pitch. Instead, it's going to be a snap throw back to the second baseman. It was actually a low throw. Got away, but not far enough to do any damage there. So a good job by the second baseman to kind of sacrifice his body to keep that one in front of him and keep the runner at second. 2-2 is the count. No outs and a runner on second here for the Indians. They lead 2-1 in game 2. Top of the 6th. Flare, and it's foul. Keeping the at-bat alive here is Lancaster. Milren is due up for the Indians. He's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Lancaster at the plate right now. He is 1 of 2, but was caught stealing to end the inning, and I guess that was back in the 3rd inning. So Lancaster talking to Coach Collier. The catcher, Locum, said, all right, well, I'm going to go talk to my pitcher. So everybody having a little conversation out there. We do appreciate everyone tuning in here to Let's Go ICC TV.com. 2-1 is your score. 2-2 is the count. Last time Locum made a trip up to the mound, it was a fastball for a strike. And that one hit him. And that will be, well, I call those a free pass, but you kind of earn it as he took one for the team there. Runners now on first and second with no outs. And this will be the second baseman, Milren. So Milren will be at the plate. Runners on first and second after Lancaster wore one. So he trots down to first. Good job by Milren to come back and win that battle after falling behind 0-2. Fouled off some pitches, evened up the count at 2-2, and then was hit by a pitch. So Milren at the plate. He did have a home run in the first game of the day. As he's awaiting the pitch here, runners on first and second. Shows bunt, lays it down nicely. And it's going to be booted by the pitcher. So it was a sacrifice bunt, but an E1 on the play. And we talk about those sacrifices. We do want to remind you of the ultimate sacrifice paid for our sins, as that's being brought to you by the ICC Baptist Student Union. They meet Monday nights at 7:07, Wednesdays at lunch So if you're looking for lunch tomorrow, swing by the ICC BSU, only $2. And they ask you to bring a friend. And the hit batter will push across the run here for the Indians. And that is, I believe, Neighbors hit by the pitch, and ICC now leads it 3-1. So that was Neighbors who came in to catch the last inning. And he was hit by a pitch. And that scored Lewis from third, and now ICC gets that insurance run we've been looking for. And we talk about those insurance runs. We talk about Joey Cox, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent. ICC now leads it 3-1.
Pitch hitter, number 2, Kyle Weaver.
Kyle Weaver stands in now in place of Sedale. Weaver takes that first pitch for a strike. Bases full of Indians, no outs here in the top of the 6th. That pitch gets away. Runner did not elect to go. Smart decision that time, as I think maybe Locum was trying to deke the runner into coming to third, as the ball did not get as far away from it as he reacted to. 1-1 is the count. Bases loaded for the Indians. That pitch inside clips the rubber for a strike. 1-2 now is the count here on Kyle Weaver. So Weaver trying to get that merry-go-round going here for the Indian. As that pitch high, 2-2 now is the count. Two, bases loaded, no outs for the Indians. Top of the 6th, 3-1. ICC with the lead. The pitcher will step off. Awaiting the 2-2 pitch coming to Weaver. And that pitch nearly hits Weaver. As it's high and inside for a ball. 3-2 now is the count here to Kyle Weaver. Baker's running into a little bit of trouble here in the top of the 6th. Indians trying to get something going with bases loaded and no outs. 3-2 pitch coming. And swinging, strike 3 of Weaver. A big out there, the first out of the inning. And Weaver goes down chasing on a pretty good location on that pitch. And now up will be the DH, Jacob Hall. That was the first Renaissance Bank strikeout of the game for Baker. So with 1 out, Hall will dig in with bases loaded here. And he takes a look at a beautiful pitch right down Broadway for strike 1. We're at the top of the 6th, 3-1, ICC with the lead. Bases loaded. That pitch missing high and outside. Even the count now at 1-1. Hall is 1 of 2 with a single and a strikeout. And the pitcher steps off the rubber. 1-1 pitch coming. Big, healthy swing, a swing and a miss for strike 2. As Hall that time just pulled his head out of it, trying to see where it would go before he made contact. So now the count is 1-2 here on Hall. We saw the Indians get out of a jam a couple of times. Can the Chargers get out of this inning with minimum damage done? This pitch fouled back and will stay at 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strike, 1 out. Bases full of Indians. Hall awaiting the pitch. Instead, we get the pitcher to step off. 1 out, 1-2 is the count here to Hall. Hall trying to spark the Indians here. This pitch fouled back and will stay at 1-2. Nice job by Baker. He ran into a little bit of trouble to start the inning. Gave up a single to Lewis. Hit Lancaster with the pitch and then committed an error when Milren reached to load the bases. And he hit Thomas when bases were loaded, and then finally settled down to get a strikeout for the first out of the inning. 1-2 now is the count. One out, bases loaded for the Indians. They lead 3-1. Jacob Hall at the plate. And Hall fouls it off and held on to by the catcher. Good job that time by Locum to hang on to that one, as that was fouled off pretty hard, but able to hold on to it. Now there's 2 outs. Now what will be Russell Bunch. He had the 2-run home run back in the second, struck out in his previous at-bat. Boy, it'd be a big time if Russell could carbon copy his first at-bat. Bunch takes a look at that pitch, outside for a ball. 3-1 is your score. We're in the top of the 6th inning. ICC trying to spark a 2-out rally here to pick up a few more of those insurance runs here in the top of the 6th. Bunch at the plate. Takes a healthy chop at that one. Comes up empty, evens the count now at 1-1. Just could not quite catch up with the fastball that time. A little upstairs. 1-1 now is the count. So Bunch will dig in with 2 outs and bases full of Indians. ICC up 3-1. Bunch looks at that one high. 2-1 now goes the count here to the freshman out of Itawamba AHS. Be a good time for a wild pitch, something to get away, just to get the Indians another run across here. They lead 3-1. 2-1 is the count here to Russell Bunch. Bases loaded for ICC. They lead it 3-1. And Bunch, a little too late on pulling the trigger there. Evens the count now at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We're at the top of the 6th. The Chargers trying to get out of this inning with minimum damage done here. Bunch trying to spark a 2-out rally here for ICC in the top of the 6th. So Bunch will dig in, awaiting the 2-2 offering. He fouls that one off, and he keeps the at-bat alive here. This ball comes off of Locum. And so we'll do that one all over again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases full of Indians for Russell Bunch here. We're in the top of the 6th. ICC leading 3-1, trying to pick up some of those insurance runs here. 2-2 offering from Baker. It's inside, ball 3. That was a borderline pitch that went the way of the Indians on that one. 3-2 now. So you figure the runners will be in motion here. 3-2, 2 outs. So 3-2 pitch coming here to Bunch. Runners do go in motion. Bunch can't catch up with the high heat and a swing and a miss. And the Chargers get out of the jam there with bases loaded, back-to-back-to-back strikeouts by Baker. And the Indians leave bases loaded, but they are able to pick up 1 run after Thomas was hit by a pitch to score Lewis. ICC leads it 3-1. We'll take a break and go to the bottom of the 6th. Back with more right after this. And welcome back as we do have a choice pawn change here. This is Kyle Krieger out there at third base now. May have a new left fielder. Yes, that's going to be a new left fielder as well. That's going to be number 2, Kyle Weaver.
Number 31, the first baseman, Bradley Wilson.
So the left fielder is number 2 for the Indians. That's going to be Kyle Weaver. And the new third baseman for the Indians is Kyle Krieger at third. So 2 choice pawn changes there for the Indians. And that pitch across for a strike. And so quickly ahead in the count now, 0-2 is Hunter Harding. This pitch popped up. Left fielder is going to step underneath this one and squeeze it for the putout. So that was number 2 for the Indians out there. That's Kyle Weaver squeezing that one for the putout.
Now batting number 27, the third baseman, Zach Sharber.
So Wilson is retired for the third time of the day, and now up is Sharber. Sharber doubled, stole the base, and scored a run in his previous at-bat. Sharber rips one past the second baseman, and that'll be his second hit of the day, and that was just on a rope. Ripped that single there. His second hit of the game. And now this will bring up Barry.
Now batting number 4, the shortstop, Dorian Berry.
So Barry will dig in here. Update Twitter here. Actually put a wrong name up there. It was actually Neighbors. As that pitch missing for a ball. So 1-0 is the count. There is a runner at first with 1 out. Time is taken by Barry, the shortstop. As we said, he had an RBI single, stole a base in his last at-bat, was left stranded after back-to-back strikeouts by Harding. Harding has 6 Renaissance Bank strikeouts on the day. A big looping curveball there, and it's across for a strike. 1-1 now is the count. Well, I apologize if I'm not getting too wordy here late. After last night's basketball games and today's baseball games, that throw down the way is blocked up over at first, just chased a bad pitch. But to complete that thought, I can feel my voice starting to slip away on me, and so yeah. But there's going to be a lot of people in this world that's going to be happy if they hear that Gore decides to shut up. So 1-2 now is the strike here. Harding looking for his 7th Renaissance Bank strikeout of the game. If he can find it here, to be a big one. 1 out and a runner on first. Barry at the plate representing the tying run, and Indians are going to step off. 3-1 is your score. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning, game 2 between ICC and Columbia State. Throw over to first, not in time. Well, this game, too, has been a classic, what Coach Collier likes to refer to as a dogfight, as these two teams have just battled all day. Really, that 11-5 final in Game 1 is not too representative of exactly how that game went as well, as it was a pretty good game. And swung on and missed for the Renaissance Bank strikeout, the 7th of the game for Harding. We may have a change coming up here. A big-time strikeout there for the 2nd out of the inning. And it looks like we'll have a new batter coming up, and this is going to be Alex Kerrigan. Kerrigan will come in here. He did see some action in the first game of the day. He'll be replacing Locum.
Rotating number 16, Alex Kerrigan.
So Carrington will dig in here. Representing the tying run here is Kerrigan. Takes that first pitch across for a strike. So he's batting in place of Locum. 3-1 is your score. Indians trying to find a way to get out of this inning here. 2 outs and a runner on first. Tying run is at the plate. And Kerrigan fouls this one off. And 0-2 goes the count. Oh, 2 outs and a runner on first here. Getting late in the evening. Actually, it's not. It's not as late as I thought it was. It's just now creeping into 7 o'clock. If you go by the clock at the scoreboard, it's been 7:42 since we got here. So the 0-2 pitch coming here from Harding, staring down the runner at first, sets to deliver. Oh, couldn't get him to chase one. A good location there on the 1-2 throwaway pitch. Try to get that nitty-gritty dirt man strikeout. A little fishing in the dark, but wouldn't get him to go. So 1-2 now. Swung on and missed. The strike. The base is not open, though. And they're going to throw down to first either way, and that's going to do it. Third out of the inning, and Houston Harding. He is a bulldog, folks. He's been in a jams all day today, but have found a way to get out of them. ICC leads it 3-1 as we move to the top of the 7th.
At the end of the 5th inning for the Chargers, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. The score after 5, 6, Indians 3, and the Chargers 1.
And welcome back now as we move to the top of the 7th inning. ICC with a 3-1 lead here over Columbia State. This has been a classic dogfight here in Game 2 between ICC and Columbia State. Happy to bring this action to you on Let'sGoICCTV.com. If you're wondering why you didn't see this game on the schedule earlier this season or on your schedule card, this game was added last night. And ICC has made the quick trip up here to nearly Nashville as the throwdown and will be set to go. This is another pitcher in the game here. This is going to be Nate Richardson. So Richardson is the 6th pitcher of the game, and Drake Wallace will lead us off here in the top of the 7th. So the Indians would like to pick up a few more insurance runs here in the top of the 7th. 3-1 is the lead. Swings on the first pitch he sees, and it's going to squeeze past the shortstop, and Drake Wallace leads the inning off with a single. Nice job that time by Drake to come in and get that hit. That is Drake's first hit of the game. And now up will be Palmer for the Indians. No outs and a runner on first here for ICC. Snap throw over to first, not in time as Wallace steps back on the bag safely. Well, the Indians got a 3-run home run to get a little bit more breathing room in that 11-5 win in the top of the 7th. ICC has hit 4 home runs today. Shows bunt, didn't pull back on it. Snap throw down. Ooh. Got to get back a little bit quicker there if you're Drake, as that one nearly got the tag. So 0-1, I believe, is the count here. Squares the bunt and fouls this one back. Well, we may have an... That's actually Kerrigan behind the plate now. So 0-2 is the count. The throw over to first, not in time. No outs and a runner on first here for the Indians. Wallace started the inning off with a single. And, oh, that one could have easily been called strike 3, but just a little too inside for the umpire's liking. I thought that was Palmer going down on strikes, so a break there for the Indians. 1-2 is the count here to Palmer. Wallace is at first base, no outs, top of the 7th. Throw over, not in time. So we'll reset it here. Palmer 0 for 2 on the day. He's due. He flew out to left to end the 2nd, flew out to center to end the 5th. So 1-2 now is the count, and there's another throw over to first. So trying to make sure Drake Wallace doesn't get that big lead over at first. ICC leads at 3-1. 1-2 is the count. Palmer waiting to pitch. That pitch in the dirt. Gets away, but blocked up nicely that time by Kerrigan to keep the ball in front of him. 2-2 now is the count here to Hayden Palmer. So 2-2 now is the count. Palmer awaiting the pitch. And instead, we're going to get a throw back to first. It's almost throw, pitch has been the cadence here for Richardson, making sure Wallace just does not get greedy with his lead over there at first. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs, and a runner on first, top of the 7th. This pitch popped up. Left fielder takes a few steps back, and now is having to run up and find it. I think he thought that one was a little bit harder hit than it was. And the wind picking up a little bit may have shifted that one around on him, able to come up and make the play. So 0 for 3 on the day is Palmer. Second time he has flown out to left.
Now batting number 13, the shortstop, Connor Lewis.
And this will be Connor Lewis coming to the plate here for the Indians. Lewis singled, stole a base, and scored a run in the previous inning. ICC left the bases loaded in the 6th. So the Chargers happy to get out of that inning with only 1 run on the board. 3-1 is your score. 1 out and a runner on first. That's Drake Wallace. And that one knocked down by the pitcher. Only has 1 play as the runner was going on the play that time. Good job that time by Richardson defending his position to able to knock that one down. That was a hard hit ball. I don't know if you heard it over the broadcast, but it popped the mitt. Richardson able to keep his composure, find the ball, and getting the out for out number 2.
Jackson Lancaster.
So now up will be Jackson Lancaster. He was hit by a pitch in his previous at-bat. He had singled, but was part of a strike him out, throw him out to end the 3rd, and he's also flew out to center. Actually, a great diving effort by the center fielder to rob him of a base hit to start the contest. That pitch in the dirt for a ball. 1-0 is the count. 2 outs and a runner on second. That's Drake Wallace. Indians would love to pick up that insurance run here. They lead 3-1. Lancaster, the leadoff batter for the Indians, swings on this one, fouls it out of play. Even the count now at 1-1 as it comes off the netting. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. A runner on second here for the Indians. They lead 3-1. We're in the top of the 7th. Game 2 at Columbia State. Jackson Lancaster at the plate. Waiting the pitch. And a beauty right across the letters for the strike. Lancaster takes it looking there. 1-2 now is the count. So Lancaster will have to guard the dish here. 1-2 is the count. 2 outs and a runner on second here for the Indians. 3-1 ICC with the lead. And that one fouled right back into your living room. 1-2 is the count. And that's where we'll stay. So waiting the 1-2 pitch here to Lancaster after fouling that one off to keep the at-bat alive. Lancaster. Instead, there's going to be a snap throw back to second. Not in time. A small collision between the shortstop and the runner. Nothing malicious out of either one of them. Just part of the game. So 1-2 is the count here to Lancaster. 2 outs and a runner on second. ICC leading 3-1 here in the top of the 7th. Swung on and missed for strike 2. A big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout there for Richardson. First time that Lancaster goes down on strikes this evening. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base for the Indians. We're going to step away and come back with the bottom of the 7th. ICC trying to hold tight as we have a choice pond pitching change. Coming into the contest here for the Indians is going to be number 31. That's going to be Sam Harrington trying to close the door on this one for the Indians here in the bottom of the 7th. Back with more right after this. And welcome back to action now as we shift to the bottom of the 7th inning. Sam Harrington enters. He's already got 1 save on the year, trying to pick up his second here. As this is going to be a new batter coming in, number 19 for Columbia State, Hayden Adams. So Hayden Adams will come in here to pitch. We're in the bottom of the 7th, 3-1. ICC in a dogfight with the Chargers here in Game 2. And Neighbors is going to call time before the first pitch. Sam Harrington entering to pitch here. So a brief meeting at the mound here. Well, the best message I've got today is coming from Coach Mike Sullivan. If anybody knows me and Sully, we're a big fan of the Sharknado movies. Yes, there will be a Sharknado 6. So that pitch missing low for a ball. Fastball across for a strike. Harrington looking for his second save on the year. 1-1 now is the count here to Adams. Fastball across for a strike. As Harrington just filling up the zone here. 1-2 now is the count on Adams. Harrington looking for a Renaissance Bank strikeout here. And can't get it. That pitch, almost like a throwaway pitch, and if he couldn't get him to chase one after giving him 2 straight fastballs, that one low and out. 2-2 now is the count here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Bottom of the 7th, ICC leading 3-1. There's a flare out to right field. Nice job going with the pitch there by Adams, and that's going to be a hit. So the leadoff batter will get on here. And now another pitch batter coming in. This will be, pitch hitter, Justin Carlin. Carlin saw action in the first game of the day, so he'll come in a pitch hit situation. He does represent the tying run for the Chargers. Runner at first. And that pitch across for a strike. Indians do have a couple of guys getting loose in the bullpen in case they run into a little bit of trouble here. But I got faith in Sam. He's going to close the door on this one. So that first pitch across for a strike. And that one hangs up high for a ball. 1-1 now is the count. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, and a runner on first. Harrington with the toss over to first, not in time. So Harrington's pitch on its way, a breaking pitch that hangs up just a little too high for the umpire's liking, and 2-1 now goes the count. So Carlin at the plate. Can't catch up with the fastball. 2-2 now is the count here on Carlin. So the 2-2 pitch coming from Harrington. Instead, it'll be a toss over to first. Well, that's one thing that the Chargers like to do. They like to get in the head of the pitchers because they will steal a base if you let them. I think they've stolen 7 bases so far this evening. So they are very aggressive on the base paths. Slow roller there. Going to be trouble. Harrington gets it. Only 1 play. And 1-3 on the putout. Good job by Harrington that time. That was a difficult play. The ball just kind of rolled forward and died. Harrington able to find it. And 1-3 on the putout. 1 out now, but the runner does advance to second. And now we're going to have another pitch hitter coming in here. This is going to be Bryce Giles. Now, we talk about somebody that has been a tough out in the first game. This is this young man right here. Not only are you getting a good batter coming to the plate, but you're getting someone that's quick as a hiccup as well, representing the tying run. So 1 out now as the wind starting to pick up here in the bottom of the 7th. Giles coming in for his first at bat here in game 2. That pitch in the dirt gets away. Runner thought about going. Instead tracks back to second. A break there for the Indians as the ball kind of pinballed around away from Neighbors that time. So 1 out. Tying run is at the plate. Represented by Giles. Runner at second with 1 out now. Fastball across for a strike. Can the Indians get out of this jam here and get the sweep this evening in Tennessee? 1-1 is the count. There's one out now. Awaiting the pitch here. Showed bunt, and it was a curveball. He pulled back and took it for a strike. Beautiful pitch. They were looking for the fastball there. Didn't get it. All-speed breaking pitch across for a strike. 1-2 now is the count here on Giles. 1-2 is the count. One out and a runner on second. Giles waiting the pitch. Ground ball. Trouble here. First baseman's going to have to hurry and can't get there. And the throw gets away. And so now the run will get away. So that's going to be a base hit for Giles. And then an error. I don't know who threw the ball, but an error on the throw over to third. So E3. And now Giles moves from first to second. But I got to give Hunter Neighbors credit. Neighbors realized nobody was covering third, sprinted from his position at catcher to cover third to keep the runner to go from first to third. This looks like number 28, Elliot Curtis, coming to the plate. So the run scored on the throwing error. It was Adams scored as that pitch across for a strike. Now the tying run is at second. And I'm going to tell you this, folks, anything down to the outfield will score Giles, as that kid, a lot of people mistake his feet as actual feet. They're actual rockets. That's how fast he is. That first pitch across for a strike. And another beautiful pitch. Oh, no. Called that one a ball. 1-1 now is the count. Beautiful pitch there. Going with his off speed. And so 1-1 is the count now. No outs. Actually, there's one out in the inning. And here's trouble. Deep fly ball back to left field. Left fielder's going to camp underneath it. And they're going to try to tag up the runner from second to third. The throw is going to be off. And so that's the second out of the inning. So a deep fly ball there. The wind just not enough to carry that one out of the ballpark. If that one would have been gone, it would have been in walk-off fashion. If it had been game one, that ball probably would have landed in the next county. So now your score, 3-2. As Coach Corn looks like he's going to have another pitch hitter here. And tell you what, Coach, that's who's on deck is number 8. So there's not going to be 8 coming to the plate. It's going to be, see who they're going to go with here. As Coach Corn earning his paycheck tonight. Coaching his tail off, as they would say, trying to get that tying run across. As we're waiting to see who's going to come out of the dugout. And it's going to be number 20. Daniel Freeman will come to the plate here.
Pitching number 20, Daniel Freeman.
So Freeman will enter with 2 outs. The tying run is at third for the Chargers. Can the Indians find a way out of this jam? You look back at that 6th inning when the Indians loaded the bases and only gets 1 run out of it. Could loom large this evening here for the Indians. Sam Harrington, fastball, hums it past Freeman. As we said, the tying run is at third right now. Giles, the speedster, at third base. Breaking pitch in the dirt, held off on it. 1-1 now is the count. Good job that time on the block up behind the plate by Neighbors. Yeah, if that ball gets away from Neighbors, that's a tying run scored. 1-1 pitch coming. It's low, blocked up. And the Indians caught a break there as it kind of bounced off the shin of the home plate umpire to keep it right there near Neighbors. And so now 2-1 is the count as Giles had took off just in case, was able to get back now. 2-1 is the count. 2 outs. 3-2 Indians with the lead in the bottom of the 7th. Fastball across for a strike. 2-2 now is the count. Two outs, 2-2 is the count. Tying run is at third, bottom of the 7th. ICC leading 3-2. And that pitch missing low as he's able to hold off on that one. 3-2 now goes the count here on Freeman. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Tying run is at third. Sam Harrington at the hill for the Indians. Freeman at the plate. This one popped up. Center fielder's going to have to hurry, and he's got it. And that will do it. The Indians hang on to win a thriller tonight, 3-2, and get the sweep of Columbia State. What a ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Tip of the cap to the Chargers as they refuse to go quietly into the night. And ICC is able to get the 3-2 win. Your final line, ICC gets 3 runs on 5 hits and 2 errors. And Columbia State, 2 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. Harding improves to 2-0 on the year. The loss goes to, so it's going to be D'Angelo. D'Angelo is hit with the loss. I had to go back and look at my stats if we saw 6 or 7 different pitchers here in Game 2 against Columbia State. What a day of baseball. Kudos to the crew of the Chargers. I want to give a shout out to Coach Korn as well as the gentlemen here in the press box for excellent hospitality all day today. ICC improves to 6-0 with the win. We do want to remind you that our next broadcast will be on the Red Channel Thursday night as ICC will take on Northwest in basketball. It'll be sophomore night in Fulton. That'll be a 6 o'clock opening tip. 5:40 will be the Choice Pond pregame show on Let'sGoICCTV.com, the Red Channel, as well as FM 95 Sports. Our next baseball broadcast, that'll be Friday as the Indians are scheduled to host Lakeland. Of course, there is some rain in the area. Softball scheduled to go to Snead State. They'll play Snead and Wallace. That game will be on the Blue Channel if we do go with softball. Baseball will be on the Red Channel. ICC wins Game 1 by the final score of 11-5. Picks up the win 3-2 here in Game 2. Let's take a look at some Sonic stats, part of the Renaissance Bank post-game report. Lancaster was 1 of 3. He had a single, struck out once, was hit by a pitch. Millerin was 0 for 3. He had a sacrifice bunt that he reached, 0 for 2, had a sacrifice bunt that he reached on an error. Then Thomas was 0 for 2 on the day. And then coming into bat for the Indians at number 19 was Neighbors. He was hit by a pitch. That pushed across a run that proved to be huge late in the ball game. Sedale was 0 for 1 on the day. He did have a walk. And then Kyle Weaver came in. He was 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout. Hall, on the afternoon, he was 1 of 3 with 2 strikeouts, a single and a run scored. Russell Bunch was 1 for 3. He had a 2-run home run and a pair of strikeouts. Wallace was 1 for 3 on the afternoon. Palmer 0 for 3. And Connor Lewis was 1 of 3. Lewis ends up scoring that game-winning run back in the top of the 6th after a hit by pitch was hit by Neighbors to push across that run there. For Columbia State, Simlar went 0 for 3. And then it was Giles that came in and singled, advanced on the error, eventually got to third but was left stranded. Dutton on the day was 0 for 2 with a walk. He did reach on an error. And then coming in was Elliott Curtis. He was 0 for 1 on the day. O'Dryer, he was 0 for 3, did reach on a fielder's choice. And then Daniel Freeman flew out to center to end the contest. He was 0 for 1. Wilson went 0 for 3. Sharber, 2 for 3 on the day. He had a double, a stolen base, and a run scored, and he also had a single. Barry on the day was 1 for 3. He had a single, drove in a run, and stole a base. Locum was 1 of 2. He had a single and a strikeout. And then Alex Carnigan was 0 for 2. He had a strikeout as well. Pugh was 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. And then it was Adams that came in, had that single, scored a run to make it a one-run contest here in the bottom of the 7th. And then Stone went 1 for 2. He had a single and stole 2 bases. And it was Carlin that went 0 for 1 on the day. Harding improves to 2-0 in the year. D'Angelo gets the loss for the Chargers. It's been a fun day of baseball. It started way back at 2 o'clock in the afternoon as we're wrapping up things as we're just approaching the 7:30 mark here in Columbia, Tennessee. Well, we do want to invite you to visit letsgoicc.com and follow us on Twitter at letsgoicc the next time we have a game pop up like this. This game originally not on the schedule, scheduled late yesterday evening, and ICC comes up and gets a sweep here in Tennessee. Well, that's going to do it. We'll see you next time, folks, here on letsgoicctv.com. Have a blessed evening, and as always, Roll Tribe.